Hi, I bought some voice recording equipment off of Amazon and am testing it out. I figured one of the best ways to test it out would be to read a book. So we'll give that a try. The book I picked is a choose your own adventure book called Space and Beyond. It's written by R.A. Montgomery, who wrote, I think, the first 3 or 4 books in the series. And it took off for a little bit and then died out as people became more accustomed to video type media, and ultimately they started um, click slips.
Amazing!
They started becoming more digital and less literary. And so this window of time happens from the late 70s to the 80s. And so we'll start and open the book. This is the third in the series in the republication and the fourth in the original. And so on the copyrights, it was originally copyrighted in 1980, and then it got recopyrighted in 2005. Now, the copyright thing is always really interesting. The reason why is because I think a copyright is supposed to last 35 years before it becomes free to the public or the rights revert back to the author or the person who developed the media. By recopywriting a work, it keeps it perpetually owned by a company. And so it never reverts back to the person who created it. The reason why this is significant is that sometimes some of the authors or creators in the past, they signed contracts where they would get less money and the ownership of their work would return to them. And the big businesses were like, ha 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 ha. You're never gonna get your work back. We're just gonna keep on recopywriting it, and we also managed to finagle you out of some money. The most famous guy that this happened to that I'm aware of, just because I like comic books, is a guy named Alan Moore. He wrote a series called The Watchmen, which was a brilliant dystopian take on superheroes. And in his contract, he agreed to take less money, substantially less, so he can get the ownership of the work back, and that never happened because they recopyrighted it again and again and again. I hope that this wasn't the same with R.A. Montgomery. I hope that he actually legitimately got paid and that he did not have this wonderful work of choose your own adventure books exploited and got paid less for it. Okay, sorry about that aside, but I think it's kind of important. So we come to a warning in the front of the book that I'm going to read. Beware and warning. This book is different from other books. You and you alone are in charge of what happens in this story. There are dangers, choices, adventures, and consequences. You must use all your numerous talents and much of your enormous intelligence. Well, I don't have much intelligence, so I guess I have to work on that. The wrong decision could end in disaster, even death. But don't despair. At any time, you can go back and make another choice. Alter the path of your story and change its result. First, you must choose the planet of your birth. The choice you make will determine a major part of your future. Try to choose wisely. As they say in another galaxy not too far from this one, Glebe Fogo. Good luck. So this is a new part to the book, and it's written like Star Wars, which is kind of cool. And I think it's just like a primer to get kids excited for reading a choose your own adventure book. And so we'll move forward. We haven't gotten to the story yet. I think there were some reviews, yeah, at the very front of the book. I'm going to read a couple of these. Kids love reading Choose Your Own Adventure. It was cool how you got to make your own choices. Reading Choose Your Own Adventure helped me picture the stories and make reading them a lot more exciting. That is by Greg Skowronowski, age 10. Boy, that's a last name, Skowronowski. Mike Skowronowski. I love reading Choose Your Own Adventure. It's like 40 books in one. Hannah Marion, age 13. I'm going to use a sound effect to read the next one just for funsies. Okay, hold on.
You don't have to worry about the characters making bad decisions. The author doesn't choose the ending. You do. Patrick Meany, age 11.
I certainly hope Patrick isn't a meanie. We'll try another one, and we'll do a creepy uncle voice.
The author made me feel like I was in the character's shoes. I love being able to choose how the book ends. Andy Detter, age 12.
So with these stunning reviews, this book is going to be amazing. It's going to blow your mind. The best thing you've ever heard. So let's get started. You were born on a spaceship traveling between galaxies on a dangerous research mission. The crew of the spaceship includes people from 5 different galaxies. Your parents are not from the same galaxy, but both have features common to those found on planet Earth in the Milky Way galaxy. Because you have been born in deep space, you must choose the galaxy and planet of your citizenship. The spaceship is traveling at 62 times the speed of light. You reach the Earth age of 18 years old in just 3 days and 2 hours. Now you must choose the planet Canada in the galaxy of Pintome or the planet Croyd in the galaxy of Ophos. The mission commander demands your decision. We have our first choice here. We get to choose Pinton or, Kenda or Croyd. And that's going to affect our story. The funny thing is traveling at the speed of light is kind of a ripoff because he just spent 3.5 hours or something like that, or 3 days and 2 hours, and he aged 18 years. That would suck to just, a quarter of your life, or maybe a fifth, or maybe even half of your life is just wasted in 3 days because you had to get someplace fast. Right there, I'd want a refund. So this is going to tell us, page 2, about the planets. Kenda is 3 times the size of planet Earth. The star provides some of its life-giving force. The star that... Oops, I have something for when I'm sorry. That's the embarrassment. Kenda is 3 times the size of planet Earth. The star that provides some of its life-giving force is huge but ancient. There is fear that it is losing its force. Kenda has a history filled with trouble. Croyd is in the galaxy Ophos, far distant from the Milky Way. The galaxy has black holes and supernovas. It has always been regarded as an uncertain region by observers and spacecraft crews. It is a difficult area, and the black holes are uncharted and dangerous. Reports from previous space probes say Croyd has had a dim and troubled past. The reports also prophesy a bright and exciting future. So it tells us a little bit more about the planets before we get to choose. The interesting thing is that with the description of the star that Kenda is around, that's getting ready to be a black hole. And Ophos is, I guess, already there. They have black holes. So we kind of have a similar situation. Kenda has a history with trouble. Croyd has had a dim and troubled past. So that's similar too. But there were reports of a bright and exciting future on Croyd. So I think that's the one I'm going to choose. I think we'll go to Croyd because we just have despair and death and emo-ness on Kenda. So that takes me to page 4. So I turn to page 4. Croyd, what a name. You can't resist this planet and its unknown past. When the mission commander mentioned the hope for a bright future, you decided you must go there. It turns out it is the home of your mother. She embraces you, wishes you luck, and gives you a small metal object on a chain. Perhaps this will help you. You are just about to go for your final briefing as a young member of the flight crew rushes up and says, "Let me go with you. You will need my help." You don't know him very well, but you have always found him warm and helpful. His name is Murmah. Murmah, what a name. His broad smile makes you feel happy about the adventures that lie ahead. Of course you can come. The head of research warns you about Sunpo, a giant star 12 times the size of Earth's sun. Sun Thi is in its path, and its enormous gravitational pull could be dangerous. The head of research also cautions you about black holes and supernovas. He tells you that if you want to delay your departure and go through the Space Academy, it may make your chances of success much better. So we come to our second choice, and so I can just run off to Croyd, or I can go to like Space and Beyond's equivalent of Starfleet Academy. Being that I'm a fan of Star Trek, I'm going to go to Starfleet Academy, and that's page 8. So I'm going to delay my departure and go to Space Academy. I just aged 18 years in 3.5 days, so I think that I need to slow down before I become 40 in Croyd. And yeah, crap. So we're turning to page 8 to go to Starfleet. Hesitating, you ask what other types of instruction will be given to you. So far you have learned flight procedures, navigation languages, weapons, and planning. It is a good idea to get as much information as possible, but you ask the head of research how long you will know when you have learned enough. Self-knowledge, it's everything you have learned, now and in the past. You have but to realize it. Spend some time, now, then go. All right, I'll do as you suggest, but how long will it take? You may either attend Space Academy courses on board, or you may study with me, she says. Well, I used to like what is it called? The Van Halen song, "Hot for Teacher," and I know I read the voice like a stoic old man, but I really like that song, so I'm gonna imagine that she's a hot Space Academy teacher, and I'll study with her. And so, well, I don't even have that. I can attend Space Academy one more time, or I can choose to explore the knowledge within myself. I don't know if I know too much, so I'm gonna go to Space Academy. Starfleet calls me, so here we go. That's page 19. I'm greeted on page 19 right away with this mutant-looking guy, and he has like iPads that he's handing out. So I guess I get an iPad. All right, here we go. School can be boring, but then it might be just the thing for flight. The space research vessel is so huge and so advanced, you didn't actually realize that it was a division of the Space Academy on board. During your interview with the head of the academy, he says, "Well, you choose. Either join command school or become captain of a ship. Or go ahead and concentrate on the research. We have done a personality and intelligence and health inventory on you. You have scored very high. We believe you can make it to the top in either category. What do you think?" Well, this is like, do I be Captain Kirk or do I be Spock? Or maybe not even Spock, just some like library person. And so Captain Kirk, man, that's I'm going to command school. That's page 39. Going to command school, going to command school. And it looks like I screwed up my journey because it's at the end. Being a pilot in command of a space mission sounds impressive to you. You enroll in the academy. Murmah decides to join you. All thoughts of going to either Kenda or Croyd leave, as the courses you study interest you more and more each day. The time passes and you achieve advanced standing in the academy. Your parents are proud of you, and upon graduation, both you and Murmah are assigned to a new and radically different spacecraft, designed to carry out deep probes into the remote and unexplored regions of intergalactic space. There is a hint that you might even explore the wormhole into the space-time continuum. Excuse me. Bidding all friends and family farewell, you and Myrma enter the new craft for a 12-year probe into uncharted regions. The end. Well, that came to an abrupt end, but I did get to be Captain Kirk. We're going to backtrack one choice because the story was over too soon, and it's kind of lame. I don't even know who Myrma is, but apparently we're bros. Yeah, we're bros with this unknown dude. And I'm Captain Kirk because I went to Starfleet. So in 5 days, I'll be 90, and then my life will be over. Okay, so we're going to make a different decision. We're going to join research. We're going to page 42. Hopefully that doesn't end our things too. Oh, it didn't, so we're good. What's research about? You have heard nothing but research, research, and more research from everyone on the space station. It's a Ravenclaw space station. It seems that research is just another name for messing around with whatever interests you. You give it a try. The subject of our research happens to be the cause of violent trouble, specifically revolts, that occur on all planets. People don't like Starfleet if they're revolting. Revolutions, wars have caused pain, but they have also caused good things too. We want to find out what the benefits can be without the pain and horror of uprisings. It is the research coordinator talking to a select group of 6 people. You have been chosen because of your aptitude for finding solutions to difficult puzzles. I was good at Sudoku. This is beginning to really interest you. Your intention to journey to Kenda and Croyd seems to fade into some different place in your mind. Myrma has been chosen to remain with you. He is a good companion. Myrma seems more like a dog to me. I mean, he doesn't really have much of a personality, and it seems really strange that he's following me around like a puppy. So from now on, he's a puppy. After intensive work, the research team decides to split into 2 teams. Team A will head to the planet Cynthia to review a current revolt. Team B will join a mission exploring a revolt on Mars that happened 62 million years ago. A time transporter will be used for that. Well, this is an interesting choice. I mean, because I don't really care about Mars or the 62 million years ago, but a time transporter, man, that sounds cool. The current rebellion, the current rebellion is in Cynthia. And so, I don't know, the author didn't like someone named Cynthia, so I think that fact alone makes me want to choose Cynthia. So, because what was R.A. Montgomery's issue with Cynthia? Did she pull his hair when he was in kindergarten? I mean, did she break up with him when he was young and in love and in college? There's something that Cynthia did that he's really upset about, that he's putting in his story Space and Above, Space and Beyond. And I need to find out. I mean, I need to piece these puzzle pieces together. I mean, they say I'm good at puzzles. Let's see. So we're going to go to 56 because Cynthia. Wow. She's a narcissist, a toxic narcissist. All right, we're on page 56. Swirling clouds, dense with moisture, much heavier than water, cover the planet of Cynthia. So, swirling clouds, dense moisture, she sounds like she's an emotional wreck. Your spacecraft penetrates these clouds. Wow, he had a relationship with her. And it bursts into a landscape of rich vegetation. Wow, R.A. Montgomery was he was together with Cynthia, and they almost had a relationship. But no towns or cities are visible as the craft flies over the empty landscape. Where are the people? Where's the revolt? So it sounds like R.A. Montgomery had an intimate relationship with Cynthia, and it didn't work out. They wanted kids, but they couldn't have them, and he got pissed off about it. You land with the advance party to find the atmosphere almost acceptable to the BIOS system. Well, the atmosphere is almost okay, therefore I can breathe it, and I won't die. I'll almost live. You only need a small amount of assistance from your life support pack. Myrma accompanies you. Of course he did. Because what else does Myrma have to do? But he just stands there. He's my cardboard cutout assistant. Did you see that? What? What did you see? Only a shadow moving quickly, as though it were following us. Then a short blast of a horn-like device stops you in your tracks. Oh no! You're surrounded by flickering shapes, living creatures that blend and twist like shadows. You can't tell what they are. Peace or war? Are you the leader? Or just a follower? It's the shadow people sneaking. Peace, of course. In our world, we don't believe in war. They all say that. But wars rage throughout the entire universe. What are you people doing? Why did you ask for help? We are fighting the forces of light, who are our enemies. We are the shadows. You do not know whether to believe them or not, but there is no choice. You must go with them. They take you to their headquarters and explain how the forces of light have attempted to wipe out the shadow people by creating a world with no shadows, where light comes from all directions. The light people will not allow the mix of light and dark that colors life. So that's the end of 59, and so we have a choice. I can take Merma and join the forces that fight on the land, or I could sign up with the rocket ship crew. So I'm an astronaut. I don't think that I'm going to do like a land war, because rockets, man, that's where it's at. So I'm going to take the rocket. This gives us more insight into Cynthia, because light and dark conflicted fighting. Was she bipolar? I don't know. So he had an intimate relationship with this mentally ill girl, Cynthia. They weren't able to have kids, and she was bipolar. That caused them to break up, and he decided to put it in his book, Space and Beyond. Thank you, R.A. Montgomery. This is the way that you make fiction real, right? By bringing in your life experiences into children's stories. Because, yeah. So, since we're signing up with the rocket ship, we're going to turn to page 83. Uh-oh. That goes to the end. I think I get blown out of the water. The rocket ship forces sound the most interesting, and besides, you're trained as a space pilot. Ground forces would be difficult for you. You're promoted to a command rank and put in charge of a large spacecraft with laser rocket weapons. From then on, you are in space searching out and policing alien ships. But you think to yourself, is this any kind of life, forever destroying things? Maybe you will quit. The end. So I ran into an ending by piloting the rocket ship. As a little kid, I would have been so excited to get this ending, because I would have gotten to fight in space, like Star Wars or Star Trek, and then I would have had like a laser battery. And so to me, even though this ending's written like, "Ah, you blew it," I would have been thrilled. I'd have been, "Yes, I am commander of the universe, the bringer of destruction. I am the admiral of space annihilation. Ha 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 ha." So I don't think it was meant to be a bad decision or to be a good decision, but I would have loved this one, the page 83 decision. We're going to backtrack one, and we're going to become land ground crew, joining the alien army. That's on page 82. Murma convinces you to join up with the land forces in defense of the light people, a defense against the light people. You and Murma are put in command of a group of 14 shadow. So this is weird. Is it 14 or 4 teenage shadow battalions? I can't tell. You build a system of walls to block the light sources. The tension builds as the light people send messages demanding the surrender of the shadow forces. A council is held. You and Murma are invited to attend. Shall we attack them, or shall we retreat? We can't possibly defend ourselves against them, the apparent leader asks. You and Murma confer with the shadow forces. Well, when in doubt, you attack. It's just a rule. I think defense is kind of tricky, and you're at the mercy of stuff. I mean, they are shadows, and they can hide, but they're light people, and they can blur out shadows, so let's attack them and knock out the lights. That choice takes me to page 106. Aha! So I have more choices. Wait, no. Yeah, I'm going to attack. Planet Cynthia is a battlefield. Smoke hangs over the cities. Wreckage clutters the land. Your group attacks with laser weapons. Pew 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 pew. Wait, I think I have a gun thing. Let's see. Where is the gun? Wait, you'll see what I mean. Like when here it is. Yes, your group attacks with laser weapons, but the enemy forces seem too strong to hold off. Your troops are taking heavy losses. Everything is in shambles. Alright, so I can hold off the enemy or I can give up. So it's 112 and 113. I don't know. I want to hold them off because I already went this far. They both are the end choices. They're right next to each other, so I'll read the holding off. Excuse me. I'll read the holding off choice and then the hey, we surrender. There's a chance to get away during a lull in the battle. Your group escapes to some remote. Oh wait, yeah, that's weird because the hold off is. It seems like we're running away. Okay. There's a chance to get away during a lull in the battle. Your group escapes to some remote hills. The energy of the lasers, the spacecraft, and the communication system mysteriously vanishes, but not before we get to press the shooting button again. There's only your own energy. Weapons are useless. Radios and transports are just pieces of plastic and metal. They are not working either. To survive now, you have to hunt for food and support each other. So I guess this is the Robinson Crusoe ending. I just get to be like a savage on Cynthia. So again, deep psychology twist. I mean, like raging war with Cynthia. All these arguments and stuff. It started out so good, and it went so wrong. Yeah. Sorry, R.A. Montgomery, about your failed relationship. So let's look at the other one. Are we going to give up? Yeah, we're just going to give up because 12 was giving up. There's no way to work things out with Cynthia. There is no way. Page 112 was holding off the enemy. Page 113 was giving up as far as our choices were. And they both kind of doing the same thing. I think Destiny showed us it's doomed with Cynthia because it was doomed with R.A. Montgomery and Cynthia. He wanted things to work out so bad, but it ended in divorce. Alright, so page 113, we're surrendering. Surrender! But if you don't give in, everything will be destroyed. What does surrender mean? You are frightened. But history has often shown that the conquerors don't often remain conquerors. They become part of a new civilization, with qualities from both the vanquished and the victors. Still, giving up is a last resort. After long talks with your group, you decide to take the risk of surrendering, joining up with the conquerors. It is done. The end. That ending sucks, because they just said they were going to kill us and wipe out all the shadows. So they're not going to enlist us in the force. I mean, Mimir and I are good, but the shadow people are going to concentration camps or dead or something, so that sucks. I don't know what our decision was before from whence we came, so I think that's what we'll call the story. I was just fiddling through and I saw like a picture with two very attractive girls flirting with me, and I was thinking, how come I didn't choose that? It's actually 4 girls at like a burger joint, and that's on Planet Orgon. I should have gone to Planet Orgon because they had hot chicks. I don't know how to get there. I mean, I have to review Space and Beyond again, try to get to these 4 hot chicks eating hamburgers so I can live my 1980s movie fantasy. But yeah, that's Space and Beyond. As you can tell, these books are kind of interesting. Lots of plot twists and things. Sometimes poorly written at points, but still fun nonetheless. I did get to shoot things, so that's cool. With lasers. And in the end, I think that's all that matters, right? I mean, I think that's it for our test run. Maybe I'll read another Choose Your Own Adventure. I was trying to get the webcam to work on my old laptop, and it doesn't seem to want to, unless someone's recording me in secret. I don't know. I mean, I say that in jest, but there's so many viruses and things. Sometimes running an old computer is a little bit perilous, and they always have those junk emails that they send to your account. We've been recording you through your camera. Apparently it's not so easy because I can't actually figure out how to use my web camera. There's an app called Camera App that isn't on my computer. Either Windows pulled it or I just can't find it. But yeah, so that would be the end of Space and Beyond. Dun, da, 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 da. I think it was a good journey. Maybe we'll do this again. Maybe not.
Amazing!
Yeah, I think so. I think it was amazing. But the main thing was lasers. I love the laser button. I think it's my favorite button. The slap from Cynthia might be fun too. Yeah. Ow. R.A. Montgomery loved her. Her bipolar, kind of hot and cold person. And boy, it was doomed from the start. That relationship, doomed. That's why he put it in his children's book. So he could talk about it and he could cope. It saved him hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on counseling. Yeah. But at least kids know. Beware of the bipolar. I say that in jest. I mean, people are people. Mental illness doesn't disqualify people from things. It just can make things harder, like relationships harder. But it was a beautiful planet until he got beat up and kicked off of it and assimilated and defeated and with lasers. It really was the best thing. My instincts of orbital defense worked better than the ground war waged by shadows against light. And we were told we were going to be exterminated, but then we ended up getting assimilated into the light army. I don't know how that works. I guess Mimir. It all goes through Mimir. The dog knows all things. That's it for now. Bye.